What up, guys? Gangstapranksta here, bringing you the weekly wrestling review for June 16th. Welcome to the show. If you're new to the show, this is where we talk everything about professional wrestling, from news, reviews to predictions. We talk about it all, so if you're a fan of professional wrestling, welcome to the show. Let's talk about what we're going to talk about. First off, we got reviews for TNA Slammiversary, RAW, Smackdown, Impact, and Ring of Honor. Raw, SmackDown, Impact, and Ring of Honor. Yeah, I hope I said that right. And predictions for WWE No Way Out, and a little bit of wrestling news. So let's start off right away. First off, we have TNA Slammiversary. And first off, I want to say, I know I'm very critical of TNA. I usually don't have a lot of favorable things to say about them. But one thing I can do is admit when they do something good, and this was definitely a good week for TNA. They had Slammiversary. It was a solid pay-per-view, and then we'll talk about the show later on, which was also a good show, but again, we'll talk about that later on. But first, we have TNA Slammiversary, happened last week, and it was actually a good pay-per-view. Nothing was bad. That's what I'm going to say. Everything was pretty good to really good. Well, actually, there was only one thing that was really good, and we'll talk about that. So it starts out with Hulk Hogan. He comes out and says he hopes it's going to be a good show, and he's excited for tonight. He announces the first match, which is Austin Aries versus Samoa Joe, X Division title match. This was a good match. What a solid way to open the show. Aries won the match. And it's just like, I've been really liking, like, Austin Aries, and we'll talk about him more on Impact, but, like, man, he is the man, dude. He really is the greatest man that ever lived, you know? Like, he's awesome. And Samoa Joe, I've been liking how he's been used the past couple weeks. But what I would like to see with Joe is maybe let him, maybe have a couple more matches, let him lose. And what they should do with Joe is what they're doing with Ryback in WWE. Just let him fucking kill people. That's what they need to do with Joe again. Just let him fucking kill people. Let him become the Samoan submission machine again. And let him go for that TNA World title. Because, yo, he's like right there. All he needs, like, lose a couple more matches. Just let him, like, build up that momentum. And then just, like, bring in fucking people for him to eat up and destroy. That's what I think Samoa Joe. That's the direction I think Samoa Joe needs to go in. I'd really like to see that happen. You know, during this match, like the old Samoa Joe, like this guy is gonna kill you. He's gonna hurt you. And I have not felt this way about Samoa Joe the past couple months. I just felt like he's kind of like a side, like, you know, like when you think of a show, like think of either a show or a movie. And, you know, you got your main characters and all those extra people, like, that don't have roles or just, like, there just to be in the background. That's what I felt Samoa Joe is. It has been the past couple months, and I want to see him be a main character in the movie called TNA. So, yeah, but I really enjoyed this match. Definitely check it out. Solid opener to open the show. Anyways, there's more. Let's talk about him. Next, we got Kid Cash versus Hernandez. Pretty good match. Hernandez wins. This was the only match that kind of threw me off because it was added, like, pretty much for no reason. But it was still pretty good. Next, we got Robbie E and Rob Terry versus Devon and Garrett Bischoff. Pretty good match. Devon and Garrett win. Next, we got RVD versus Mr. Anderson versus Jeff Hardy in a three-way for the #1 contendership for the TNA World title. This was a good match. Anderson wins. I really liked the end of the match. You know, you had RVD going for I totally forgot the name of the move, but the Rolling Thunder? Yeah, Rolling Thunder. And then, like, before he hit the last flip, Anderson caught him and hit him with the mic check. I thought it was pretty cool. Next, you got Crimson. He has an open challenge set out. You know, he's like, yo, who's going to take me on? James Storm makes his return to TNA, and he won the match in, like, a couple minutes. It was okay. Storm won. Next, Dixie Carter comes out and thanks everyone and tells the locker room to come out. They all come out. Then she reveals the first inductee for the TNA Hall of Fame. It is Sting. Big shocker. Sting thanks the fans and the wrestlers. Just like, yo, thank you for supporting TNA and all that stuff. Next, we got Gail Kim versus Brooke Tessmacher. Knockouts title match. Pretty good match. Brooke wins and is the new Knockouts champion. I'm really kind of surprised that they gave the title to Brooke. I was really hoping that that Velvet would win, would win it back, but well, I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent right now on the whole Brooke thing. But yeah, I'd like to see what she could do as champion. Next we got Joseph Park versus Bully Ray. Anything goes. This was actually pretty good. Told a good story. Joseph won after Abyss came in the ring and chokeslammed Bully through a table. Next we have Hulk Hogan comes out and brings out Christian. Yes, Christian from the WWE, the current IC champion. He made an appearance, and what happened here was, so a couple months ago when Ric Flair got inducted to the Hall of Fame, the WWE Hall of Fame, TNA and WWE came up with an agreement. You know, TNA is like, alright, we'll let you have Flair, and they're like, oh, we'll get one of your superstars sometime, and it turned out to be Christian. He made his return to TNA for the one night, for TNA Slammiversary. Man, it's so weird when they called him Christian Cage. Totally, that name is just so weird now. Christian Cage. I mean, I liked him in TNA, but just I totally forgot his name was Christian Cage. It's really weird to me. Whatever. He comes out and he thanks the fans for supporting TNA. He introduces the #1 moment of TNA, and it's Sting returning to TNA at the Turning Point pay-per-view or Final Resolution. It was Turning Point or Final Resolution, I believe, 2006. Next we got AJ Styles and Kurt Angle versus Christopher Daniels and Kazarian tag team title match. This was like the best thing on the show. This was a really good match. Styles and Angle win and are the new tag team champions. I'm okay with that. Like, I would have liked to see Daniels and Kazarian keep their titles for a couple more months. Cause they kept it for less than a month and they didn't do anything with them. It was just kind of pointless and meaningless. They were transitional champions, to be honest. They didn't really do anything, but it was still a good match. Angle and Styles are new champs. And we'll have to see where that goes. Are they gonna have a rematch at the next pay-per-view? But yeah, a really good match. Definitely recommend this one. And last but not least, Sting versus Robert Roode for the world title. Good match. Robert Roode wins. After the match, Sting attacks Roode and hits his finisher off the stage. So, really good show by TNA. I definitely recommend it. If you're a TNA fan, you probably already watched this. But for those of you who are, kind of like, I'll wait for some reviews, I definitely recommend checking it out. It was a good show. Next we got Raw. It starts out with hold on. This was the 3-hour Raw. It starts out with John Laurinaitis. He comes out and is immediately interrupted by Vince McMahon. Vince questions a bunch of things John Laurinaitis has done. They go back and forth. Sheamus comes out and tells Vince to fire Laurinaitis. Laurinaitis says he's going to find an opponent for Sheamus. So it's Sheamus versus Tenzai. Pretty good match. Sheamus wins. After the match, Tenzai attacks Sakamoto. Next we got Santino Marella and Layla versus Ricardo Rodriguez and Beth Phoenix. Okay match. Ricardo and Beth win. Next we got Daniel Bryan comes out and says Punk and Kane are distracted by AJ and he'll win the title at No Way Out. CM Punk comes out and him and Daniel go back and forth. Kane comes out and says he's going to win the title. AJ comes out and says she likes all three of them. And Laurinaitis appears on the Titantron and says there will be a tag team match. It'll be Bryan and Kane versus Punk and AJ later on. Next we got Christian versus Dolph Ziggler versus Dolph Ziggler versus Great Khali versus Jack Swagger. Winner takes on Sheamus at No Way Out. This was a good match. Ziggler won, and he'll take on Sheamus at No Way Out. I'll give my predictions for that later. Next we got Ryback versus two guys. Blah match. Ryback wins. Next we got Kofi Kingston versus Big Show in a cage match. Pretty good match. Big Show wins. Next we got Sin Cara versus Kurt Hawkins. Okay match. Sin Cara wins. Next we got Heath Slater versus Vader. Pretty good match. Vader wins. Vader making an appearance, kind of leading up to the 1,000th episode of Raw. You know, they're going to be bringing legends in every week, I believe. And this week it was Vader. He faced Heath Slater. It was pretty good. Heath Slater got the shit beat out of him. Oh, God. I know stories of, like, Vader just beating the shit out of people. Like, he's a really stiff person. And especially, he wrestled a lot in Japan, and they wrestled a strong style. Oh, Slater got hit with some brutal shots. He got hit with one clothesline. Oh, fuck, I felt so bad for him. Oh, he looks like he got knocked the fuck out. Like, he didn't look like he got knocked out, but he got hit really, really hard. Next, we got CM Punk and AJ versus Kane and Daniel Bryan. This was okay. Punk and AJ win. After, AJ kissed Kane in the middle of the match. It was really weird and, grotesque. It was creepy. And last but not least, Vince comes out and brings out John Laurinaitis. Laurinaitis comes out and Vince threatens to fire Laurinaitis. Big Show comes out and defends Laurinaitis. Cena comes out and defends Vince. Big Show snaps and takes out security guards. Cena starts beating up Show. And Laurinaitis tries to get Cena off Show. Vince tries to get Laurinaitis off Cena. And Big Show swings and misses. Like, he threw this punch and totally missed. Oh my God, he must be really strong, because the air just must have knocked the shit out of Vince. But they played it off as Big Show knocked out Vince, but if you really watch it, he missed completely. They just got a good camera angle to show replays and stuff, like, oh shit, he knocked him out. It totally missed, but it was whatever. Good thing leading up to the pay-per-view. Next, you got Impact. As I said earlier, this was definitely a good Impact along with the good Slammiversary. So it starts out with Chris Sabin versus Austin Aries versus Zema Ion. Ultimate X match for the X Division title. Pretty good match. Aries wins. This is a good way. I love it when they start off with a hot match, just like a pay-per-view. Let's start off with a hot, exciting match and then lead into whatever. I love this. I love it when they do this. And it was pretty good. You know, Chris Sabin was actually injured during the match. So it was pretty much Zema versus Austin Aries the whole match. And it sucks for Sabin. Like, he just came back from an injury about a month and a half, 2 months ago. And he's already injured again. It's another knee injury. I don't know if it's the same injury he had before. Like, he re-aggravated it. Re-aggravated? I think that's the word I want. Anyways, after the match, Aries comes out and says he's accomplished more, or he's accomplished a lot, but he wants more. You know, he wants to be a world champ. He wants the main event. Hogan comes out and says he's gonna give Aries a world title match at Destination X, but Aries has to give up his X Division title. Aries will give his decision next week. So the only thing I don't get this is, he has to give up his X Division title before the match. How about he just competes? If he wins, he vacates the X Division title. And if he loses, he's still X Division champion. Like, if he fucking loses at Destination X, he loses the world title. Well, he didn't have it, but he loses the chance to win it. And he loses his X Division title. So it's like a lose-lose situation. I don't know why he can't keep it, but whatever. I don't know what they have planned for the X Division. Or if Aries is going to pick... what if he says, nah, fuck it, I want to keep dominating the X Division. But he's probably not. He's probably going to drop it. But I don't know what they have planned for the X Division. So it should be exciting. Some exciting stuff for the X Division. Next we have Hernandez versus Devon TV title match. Pretty good match. Devon wins. Next we got Bound for Glory Battle Royale. They're going to have this tournament thing. They had this last year, I believe. And the people in the Battle Royale were AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, RVD, Magnus, Bully Ray, Kurt Angle, D'Angelo De Niro, Robbie E, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, and James Storm. Good match. James Storm wins. It's good to see Pope back and everything, but I would have liked to seen Gunner in this. Like, Gunner has, he lost to Garrett Bischoff, and then he hasn't made an appearance since. I would have liked him to be in here instead of Robbie E or Magnus or somebody like a Gunner. I think he's a future world champion in my opinion, but again, with TNA, it just seems like a lot of stop go with some people. So I guess it's just Gunner's time to stop right now. Next we got Madison Rayne versus Brooke Tessmacher. Pretty good match. Brooke wins. Next we got Bobby Roode versus Mr. Anderson. World title match. Good match. Roode wins. And last but not least, Jeremy Borash brings out Sting. Sting comes out and talks about being inducted to the Hall of Fame. He starts thanking people until he's attacked by 3 masked men. And yeah, they just beat the shit out of him. So I have a theory here of what this whole thing is going to play out to. So I think it's Jeff Jarrett and 2 guys he found in Mexico and to attack Sting because he's angry he wasn't the first inductee to the TNA Hall of Fame. That sounds like a pretty good storyline, right? That could work. That'd be interesting. I'm really interested to know who these 3 guys were. I hope they're new, like some new talent, and not just like they pick like 3 random guys and put hoods on them. Like, oh, it's Rob Terry, Magnus, and who's another big white guy? Abyss. You know, like these 3 random guys just attack Sting. I hope it's new guys. Let's start seeing some new talent in TNA, some new faces. They just released a bunch of guys, so maybe some new talent might be coming in. But I still want to see if my theory holds. So right now I think it's Jeff Jarrett. He's angry that he wasn't the first inductee, and he picked up 2 guys from Mexico or whatever, and they attacked Sting. So next we got SmackDown. It starts out with AJ, and she's immediately interrupted by Vicky Guerrero. Vicky brings out Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler brags about being the #1 contender. AJ insults Vicky. Vicky slaps her. CM Punk comes out. Says he's gonna beat Ziggler at Punk comes out and defends AJ. Daniel Bryan comes out and says AJ is using Punk. Sheamus comes out and says he's gonna beat Ziggler at No Way Out. Anyways, it breaks down to a tag team match. So it's Sheamus and CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler. Good match. Ziggler and Bryan win. After the match, Vicky and AJ get into it. Vicky takes out AJ, and Kane comes and tries to take her to the back. Punk stops him, and then Kane throws him in the ring and chokeslams Bryan and Punk. And then AJ and Kane just look at each other. A lot of fucking shit in the opening segment. Next we got Brodus Clay versus Heath Slater. Blah match. Brodus wins. After the match, David Otunga attacks Brodus. Next we got Alicia Fox versus Beth Phoenix. Blah match. Beth wins. These matches were very short, like 30 seconds. Next we got John Laurinaitis comes out and talks about what happened on Raw. Big Show comes out and talks about how being a good guy never got him anywhere, and says he's gonna beat up Cena at No Way Out. That was that. Next we got Jack Swagger versus Christian. Pretty good match. Christian wins. Ryback versus 2 guys. Blah match. Ryback wins. Next we got Tyson Kidd versus Damian Sandow. Another blah match. Sandow wins. Very, very short and uneventful matches. There was only like 2 things that were good. Swagger and Christian. And the opening match. Sheamus and Punk versus Bryan and Dolph Ziggler. And to end out the show, Cena comes out and calls out Big Show. John Laurinaitis comes out and says he sent Big Show home. And Cena says he'll beat up Laurinaitis instead and just decks the shit out of him. So that was SmackDown. Next we got Ring of Honor TV. Starts out with Michael Elgin versus Matt Taven. Pretty good match. Elgin wins. Next, Wrestling's Greatest Tag Team comes out. Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin. And they talk shit about the All Night Express. All Night Express come out and say that they're the best in the world, or at best in the world. The pay-per-view that's coming up, we'll have predictions for next week. And they will win the tag team titles. Then All Night Express take out Haas and Benjamin. And last but not least, Davey Richards versus Eddie Edwards. This was a really good match. Eddie wins. They gave this like almost 20 minutes, and they just went out there and stole the show. So A solid episode of Ring of Honor, and if you don't know what Ring of Honor is, or don't know how to watch Ring of Honor, go to ROHWrestling.com, go sign up for the free account. It's a very indie I don't want to say indie promotion, because they're getting mainstream, but it's a more unknown wrestling promotion. They focus mainly on wrestling compared to WWE and TNA. They have a 1-hour show, and it is pure wrestling. Most of it's wrestling, about 90%. So yeah, if you're in the mood for some good wrestling, go check out Ring of Honor. Next we got predictions for I keep saying TNA No Way Out, but it's WWE No Way Out. The card, it looks okay. There's like one match I'm looking forward to. Well, there was two, but I'm still kind of we'll talk about it. So first off, Santino versus Ricardo Rodriguez in a tuxedo match. Do not care about this. I really don't care. I'm going to go with Santino to win. Next, we got Layla versus Beth Phoenix, Divas title match. I think Beth is going to win, and then Karma is going to make her return. That's what I think. But I've been liking Layla so far. Like, since her return, she's been pretty good in the ring. So I wouldn't mind her winning, but I think Beth is going to win, and Karma is going to make her return, and then they'll have a feud. Next, we got Christian versus Cody Rhodes for the Intercontinental title. My picks on Christian are, I would like Cody. I don't know. I mean, Cody won, and then he lost, or he had it, then he lost it to Big Show, then he won it, and then he lost it to Christian. Like, I don't know what they're going to do, if they're going to keep hot potatoing this IC title. I'd like to, Cody got a good long run with it, and then the past couple runs, like Cody, Big Show, and Christian were all, well, Cody and Big Show mainly, and then Christian won. Just like 3 title changes in like the period of 2 months, and like I don't like that too much. So I'd like to see, maybe, you know what, let's just let Christian win and see where he can take this. Next, we got Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler. This was one of the matches I was looking forward to. I was looking forward to Sheamus versus Del Rio, but Del Rio is out with a concussion, so it's going to be Dolph Ziggler instead. This is still probably going to be a good match. They've had a couple matches a couple weeks ago on Raw and Smackdown, and those were some good matches. So I expect even more, especially on a pay-per-view. Get more time to go out there and steal the show. So this is probably going to be a really good match, and I'm going to go with Sheamus, but I would like to see Dolph Ziggler. Let's surprise everybody. Let's go with a surprise win, and let's let Ziggler win, but I doubt it. I think Sheamus is going to retain. Next, we got CM Punk versus Kane versus Daniel Bryan WWE title match. I'm really excited for this. Punk and Bryan had a good match last month at Over the Limit. And with the inclusion of Kane, I've liked the inclusion of Kane. It just adds a new element to the whole feud. The only thing I'm not really fond of is the whole AJ thing. And, like, I don't know. I could do without it. But I'm really looking forward to this 3-way. My money's going to go on CM Punk. I don't know what he's going to do after this. But I'm really interested to see, like, where Daniel Bryan's going to go after this. Are him and Punk still going to feud? What's going to happen with Kane? He's probably going to do something with AJ, to be honest. So, yeah, my money's on Punk. And last but not least, John Cena versus Big Show, steel cage match. If Cena loses, he'll be fired from Raw. If Big Show loses, Laurinaitis is fired. My money's on Big Show. Or my money's on John Cena, I mean, you know, he just beat, what's his face? What's his face? I totally forgot. Brock Lesnar. You know, he beat Brock. How are you going to beat Brock Lesnar but not beat Big Show? I mean, you've beaten Big Show a ton of times. Beat him at WrestleMania 20 for the U.S. title. You've beaten him probably a couple other times after that. So, definitely got to go with John Cena. Probably a lot of shenanigans. Vince McMahon getting involved. John Laurinaitis. David Otunga. Brodus Clay even, possibly. A lot of maybe Tyler Rex, Kurt Hawkins. A lot of people can get involved. Kofi Kingston. There's a shit ton of people that can get involved. So yeah, so I'm gonna go with John Cena on this one. Overall, the card looks okay. I'm only excited for 2 matches, so that's not saying much. So yeah, next we got some wrestling news. It's real brief. It's another injury. WWE has been like scorned lately, like on a roll of just bad stuff happening to them, whether it be suspensions or injuries. It's horrendous. And now we got another injury. R-Truth has been injured with a sprained ankle or broken foot. I'm not sure which one it was, but that's what the article was reporting. So that sucks. If it's a broken foot, he's going to be out a couple months. If it's a sprained ankle, he might be out like a week or 2. So we'll just have to wait and see for that. So yeah, just another injury for WWE. This really sucks, man. I talked about it in the comments last week. With one of you guys, like, we went through a list of everyone who is suspended and injured. You know, you got Orton on the list, Del Rio, Mysterio, Evan Bourne, Ted DiBiase. Who else? I can't. Those are the ones that I remember right off the top of my head. But and now R-Truth, like, crazy. It's just crazy. So again, like, all these people are getting injured / suspended. Like, again, more people are able to, like, it's such a fucking, like, pressure cooker for pressure cook situation for WWE. I feel like all these people are getting injured, and there are a lot of top stars, so it's like we gotta fucking push some people to the top. And we've been talking about this the past couple weeks with all these situations that have been happening. Orton getting suspended, Del Rio injured, now another injury. I don't want to downplay it, but, like, it's not that big of an injury, like, for R-Truth. Like, I don't know. It's not as big as Del Rio or Orton there. And Jericho, he's another one. He's suspended. He should be back soon. His suspension should be over. But yeah, it just sucks for WWE. They're in a really tough spot right now with all these injuries and suspensions. So hopefully no more, you know. Who are we going to talk about next week, you know? Who's going to be injured? I don't want anyone to be injured, but in such a full contact sport like wrestling, you know, you're wrestling 300 days a year, and not just wrestling, but like you're on the road, your body never gets to rest. So yeah, it sucks for these guys, you know, they're working injured and stuff, and sometimes the injury becomes severe. So yeah. Anyways, guys, that's it for the weekly wrestling review. Come back next week where we have reviews for No Way Out, Raw, Smackdown, Impact, Ring of Honor, and have predictions for ROH Best in the World. They have another pay-per-view coming up. It looks pretty good, and I'll give my predictions for that next week. Also with some wrestling news, of course. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. That'd be great. And WWE Universe video should be out tomorrow, so look forward to that. I just want to say again, thanks for watching, guys, and take care. Peace out.